All right. I apologize. Ran out of time, but there it is. Y equals negative 2x plus 6. I entered it and I got it correct. So again, be very careful. Always, always, always. First, identify your y-intercept, which is positive 6. Then use your triangle to identify slope. Again, I chose here the 6 and the 3, and I chose my rise and my run. Be very careful on your problem. Problem number 8. Again, same situation. Determine the equation of the line, right? So again, I'm going to first identify a my y-intercept. So again here, I'll do more of the same here for you. Give me 1 second. So again, I'm going to take a picture of this just so we have a nice little graph, right? So when you go to paint, okay, and the first thing you do is look for your y-intercept. When we're coming with the equation anyways, right? So here, my y-intercept is negative 4. As you can see, this crosses the y-axis. So on our paper, I'm going to go and write that fact. My y-intercept, my b value, which is my y-intercept, when x is equal to 0, is negative 4. All right? And again, it's not by luck. The x value here is 0, where my mouse is at. When x is 0, my y is negative 4. That is why it's the y-intercept. All right? So that is the fact that we have. Next, I need to find my slope. So again, my slope is rise over our run. So remember, all we got to do is take 2 points on the line. It doesn't matter what it is. And we find a rise over run. So again, to show you that we can use any 2 points, as long as they lie on crosshairs, it is a-okay. So the first point I'm going to use here is this point right here. And the second point that I'm going to use is this point right here. Again, you can use whichever 2 points, but I'm trying to show you that it doesn't matter what 2 points you use as long as they're on crosshairs, you should be successful in finding the slope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my vertical line. So here, my vertical line from here is going up to here, right? So again, notice from left to right, I chose 2 points and I chose my vertical component. There it is. Next, I have to choose my horizontal component. My horizontal component I'm going to make with the purple line goes from here to here. See? So again, what is my rise? Well, my rise is this distance that I'm following. So my rise is going up, so it's a positive. Now count your spaces. Again, I'm going to zoom in here for you just a little bit. I can't zoom in that much. Look, I went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So again, I'm going to go to my paper. I'm going to write that fact. My rise between any 2 points that I chose was a positive 9. Now I have to count my horizontal change. My horizontal change is the change that is going this direction. Again, notice how I'm going to the right, which is also positive, and count the gaps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So my horizontal change is also a positive 9. When I simplify this, well, 9 divided by 9 is 1. So there it is. My b is negative 4. My m is 1. So when I go write my equation, y equals mx plus b. Well, there it is. My m is 1. Y equals 1x. My b is a negative 4. So I put minus 4. Now again, yes, some of you guys might say, well, Mr. Gons, you said that it's a plus b. The plus is part of the equation. You can take that approach. That is perfectly fine. Just remember, the b is in the negative, right? This b was a negative 4. You can plug it in there. But remember, In algebra, everything is simplified. A positive or negative gives me that negative sign. So I get x minus 4. Again, all of those ways should be accepted by Savaz, but I'm going to use this method only because I have my slope and my y-intercept available. So we'll go here. Again, my equation is y equals 1x minus 4. And there it is. Again, I do want to show you real quick, if you wanted to take a different approach to it here. Give me 1 second. There we go. Right here. If you wanted to take this approach and use this little triangle, look, from here, my rise is 2, and then you could have used this one. Look, your rise is 2, 1, 2, your run, or in this case it would have been 4, 2, 4. This one would have been 2, 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So again, notice how the slope would have simplified to the same anyway. Now again, be very careful here. I just realized I was counting by 2's. I was counting by 1, so be careful on your graph. Make sure you guys are actually counting the spaces. All right, there it is. All right, problem number, what is this? 9. It says, write an equation of a line that passes through the given points. Now, this is probably one of the harder problems of the homework, but it is not too difficult. Now, again, what do they want us to do? They want us to find an equation of a line that goes through these 2 points. Now, can we graph this in a graph and then find our y-intercept and slope? Yes. But again, to show you that we can actually do this without graphing is just as fine, right? So we're given the 2 points. Now remember, we need to end up with some equation that looks like this. This is what I'm looking for. Y equals mx plus b. So the first thing I need to do is find my slope. Why? Because that is the first part of information I can find, slope. If you guys remember, slope from 2 points is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now again, going back to the video on 3.1, you can plug this into your calculator after you label your points. So if you're more comfortable with that approach, do that. I'm going to do it by hand here just because I use it, right? So here, again, start off by labeling your points. x1, y1, x2, y2. Again, there's no specific reason why I chose that. I just chose these to be the 1s and these to be the 2s. It is a-okay. Going back to 3.1, remember we put parentheses. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now plug it in. 7 minus 3 over negative 3 minus x1, which is 1. So again, following suit here, 7 minus 3 gives me 4. Negative 3 minus 1 gives me a negative 4. So 4 divided by negative 4 is a negative 1. So my slope is a negative 1. Now this is where the hard part comes in here, right? And again, I'll show you the shortcut in class, how we can do this in the calculator in a few seconds instead of doing this in a few minutes. But again, it is part of the process. So I found my slope, right? So my slope is negative 1. So I found half of what I need for this equation. The next part I need to find is b, right? So the first part was to find slope. The second part I need to find is b. Okay, well, how do I get b? Well, if you notice, I have an equation y equals mx plus b. Now, at the beginning of the lecture, right, we said x and y represent coordinate points that are on the line. So notice how something very special is given here. No, I don't know b, but I am given an x and y pair that are on the line. I'm actually given 2. Notice how this is x and y, x and y. So in reality, I can actually plug one pair of these points, or one of these points, into this equation to find b, right? So again, we're looking for the value of b, right? What can I do? Well, I can plug in things that I know. Do we know a coordinate point x and y that was on line? Yes. We have the point 1, 3, and we have the point negative 3, 7. I'm going to use the point 1, 3 because they're both positive. So I'm going to plug them into here. 3 is equal to m, I'm going to leave it blank for now, and x is a 1 plus b. All right. Now, again, you'll see why I'm doing this momentarily. All right. Now, do we know what slope is? Yeah. We actually just found slope in our previous step. My slope is a negative 1. So notice how I was actually able to plug in, or rather substitute values that I already know. I know x and y, a coordinate point that was given to me in the problem. I know slope because I found it from the 2 points. And now look, I can solve for b here to get the value of b. So a little multiplying here, I get 3 equals negative 1 plus b. And we solve for b just like before. B here, to get rid of this negative 1, I have to add the 1. When I add 1 to both sides, I get b is equal to 4. And there it is. We have the slope is negative 1, and my b, or the y-intercept, is a positive 4. So now I have all the components that I have to make this equation, so my equation is negative 1x plus 4. Now remember, yes, I used the point x and y 1, 3 from before to find the value of b. But remember, this equation gives us all the points that make this equation true, right? Like that's what the line is. Now, when I write my equation, again, x and y are points, are the coordinates that make it true. So we don't have to actually put values in because that is what is being graphed, right? So again, the most important part here is the fact that we have to find slope and y-intercept. My slope was a negative 1. My y-intercept is a positive 4. But again, these were the steps that we did. The first thing we did was find slope, and I can do that from using the slope formula. And lastly, I had to find the b, right? My y-intercept. To find my y-intercept, well, I have 3 numbers that are given to me that I can use to solve for b, to find the value of b. So again, my slope, I got it from the first part that I found. The x and y, I let be a coordinate point from the previous information given. And there it is. I substituted it and I solved for b. So now I have all the components. So my equation is negative x plus 4 equals y. So y equals negative x plus 4. Now again, I'm not putting the 1 because we know that the coefficient is 1. Fantastico. Ooh, 2 minutes. I don't think we're going to be able to do that. All right, 10 and 11.